Disclaimer. After the script was beginning to be written, the people involved decided to try and reason with Rux, including me, in a voice call. The only progress we made was that he admitted to not feeling regret for any of his actions, and he lied about all the other situations we asked about. He only apologized when backed up into a corner, or when it's convenient for him. Also, everyone who was mentioned in this video has given full consent to me about sharing their stories, except for his current girlfriend, so we won't be releasing all information we have on her or be completely putting all the things she said. As you watch the video, please keep in mind we do in fact have this evidence for all our points. Some pictures and messages have been deleted, so we cannot show every speck of evidence possible. Thank you. Second disclaimer. Sorry to make another, but I wasn't sure where in this video to add this. He says that he has nothing to hide, yet he's deleted so many replies, tweets, DMs, crops, screenshots, and so much more. So, hello everyone. This is my first video and my first rant. My name's Castiel, and you may not respect my opinion because of it's my first video, but everything I say is going to be backed up by evidence, so please watch the whole thing before giving me your opinion in the comments. I decided to make this video because I recently got fed up with someone's actions more than ever. That someone is Rux. Rux recently posted event art of him cutting himself. His events are usually mild, but this one was graphic and triggering. I asked him for a trigger warning, and he blocked me. He stated it wasn't about me asking for the trigger warning, but that I was disrespectful and rude without any warning whatsoever. He posted not safe for work artwork of him and his girlfriend. He's roughly 13 or 14, and she's 16. This is technically child pornography, as both people exist and are under the age of consent. He also told everyone that I stole art. I'm going to explain his reasonings of the things he said and why they're over-exaggerated. First of all, I'm friends with all his friends, or his used-to-be friends. He's driven away the majority of his friends, which I've been friends with them the whole time. He said I was disrespectful because I made a meme of another dramatic situation he created. The situation was that he was publicly posting artwork that was not safe for work on his main Twitter. This caused drama, and the meme I've displayed currently was created by my friend for me, which I replied to in retaliation to the drama, where he drew himself grabbing his girlfriend's breasts. This is the only likely event he must be talking about. He said I stole art because a while ago I subbed a similar art style to an artist, which caused a bit of drama. He defended me on this, which I have no idea why, but then when I got overwhelmed and suicidal, which was quite immature of me, remember, this was a while ago and I've since matured, he told me to suck it up. He says he has suicidal problems and talks about depression quite often. So this shocked me, as he would not say this to someone who has supposedly experienced the same pain and suffering as he. Also, might I add, he puts cut marks on his Sona/self artworks and says that they're so he feels more confident about them. But in his Sona, there's cut marks on his wrists, but in his face reveal, there were no cut marks to be seen on his arm. Well, now that I've explained the present and my motives, here's many more severe things than this. Now, before I say anything about his past, I'd like to say he called us out for bringing up the past, but brought it up first. This piece of his past is important, so I decided to include it. I won't be including any more of his past, so he cannot use it against us. So, anyways, an ex-friend of Rux reached out to me recently. Rux is transgender, and this is back when he still identified as a female. This person knew him. He had emotionally abused, as well as gotten this person in trouble illegally. There is no technical proof that any of this is true, so make of it what you will, but I figured I'd still share this. He's also admitted to being arrested for talking about sexual conduct, etc., with young children. So, for this part of the video, I'm going to start off with what he did to my friend Katie. Katie, or Smarty, was friends with Rux for a short period of time. If you don't know Rux, he always draws a ton of art for his friends. Rux said that Smarty used him for art because she stopped being friends with him the day they mutually agreed to stop being friends. Before they said this, Rux said he wasn't going to draw Smarty anymore. What was hidden in his explanation was that on the very same day, Rux and Smarty got into a very serious argument and mutually agreed to disagree and to no longer remain in contact. This is something he hasn't told others about to make the situation seem worse and to make Katie look like much worse of a person. The next person's situation I'd like to address is Blue's. Blue, or Blueberry Pie, was a close friend of Rux. Blue didn't want to stop being friends with someone Rux hated, and wouldn't become friends with someone Rux liked. Rux blocked him and attacked him, and even drew fan art of him murdering Blue. Rux admitted it in Twitter DMs that we cannot recover because he's blocked everyone, so we cannot provide proof that it was officially Blue. You can choose to ignore this claim since we do not have the full evidence. The next situation I'd like to discuss is Mikey's. Mikey's is Rux's ex. Rux accused Mikey of neglecting and abusing him while in the relationship, as well as manipulated him and forced him to send nudes when Mikey said no many times. He also drew porn of Mikey many times without his consent. Mikey and Rux are both minors, and the porn was of both of them. Rux's excuse is that they are the characters of both of them, and his brother is involved in law and says that if two minors don't exist and the drawing is of them, then it's completely legal. The problem is that they aren't the characters of both of them, they're the drawings of them IRL as well. This means it's child pornography. Rux also told Nari not to be friends with Mikey. Another person he had beef with was named David. They were extremely close friends for a long while until David began dating one of his exes. Rux immediately retaliated and started hating on him, subtweeting, making fan art, and the usual. The last individual I'm going to write about is my friend Canna. Canna was close friends with Rux and tried to pressure her into a relationship because he didn't know how to say no to another friend asking him out. After she rejected him multiple times, he unfollowed and blocked her, then began to subtweet. He also drew porn of Canna when they weren't even in a relationship. He's held a grudge against her ever since. A few months after this event, she began to date someone, and he began to subtweet again. She asked Rux why he was so mad, and he refused to tell her until a little while later. He was angry about how she began dating someone and admitted it. They didn't have conflict until a few months after this, where he posted not safe for work of him and his girlfriend on his main account. That's when Canna got involved with him again, and he blamed the whole situation on her without any proof or explanation. I have no idea why he did this, but he somehow chose to blame the whole situation on her, which I don't even understand. Now, time and time again, Rux always ends up making apology tweets about the situations he gets in. He goes on back on his apologies when they aren't accepted, which makes him feel more genuine. When people don't do what he wants, he gets angry and yells at them. Whenever they don't get manipulated by him, he hates them. When then people suck up to him, he draws art for them. They do it just for art, and it feeds his ego. Win-win. Rux blocked a 9-year-old fan because he got arrested by talking to minors about sex, people much younger than him. Rux admitted to going to juvie because of this. The 9-year-old was a huge fan of him and tried to become friends with him because she was sad she wasn't friends with any of her idols, as well as tried to commission him. Rux blocked her as well as denied her commission, which made her very upset. Now, there's a lot more I'd like to add, but due to lack of evidence, I've decided not to feature these stories. Me and my friends aren't able to provide this evidence due to the fact that Rux blocked us on Twitter, so we can't go through our DMs with him. He also deleted many messages and images in people's DMs and replies. Rux also tried to run away by having a second account he went to that complained when people found it. I got harassed on my Curious Cat, my server got raided, and my Twitter was attempted to be gotten into when he tweeted about me and deactivated. Everyone blamed the situation of me simply asking for a trigger warning and him blowing it up by slandering me. By the way, all of this was backed up by evidence and none of this is made up. If you have a problem or question, calmly leave it in the comments below and I'll try my best to reply and answer fully. This video was helped to be written by people involved, but I take personal credit for all the things said in this video. Thank you for watching, and please do not involve with that RuxInATux / Lucas isn't boring. Thank you. By the way, Kat says hi, and thanks for the tea!